Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Anna and I'm a random stranger on the internet talking to you about beauty. Alright, today I'm going to do my very belated New Year's resolutions. Mostly all personal. I do have a goal to kind of raise the subscriber count on this channel to 1,000, but it's one of those lofty goals. So we'll see if we get there. But let's get on to the main part of my resolutions. Resolution number 1 is a joke, but like I bought my first pair of prenatal yoga pants. I don't know if y'all can see these, but like, yeah. Prenatal yoga pants. They're fabulous. They are totally see-through. They really don't serve the purpose for pants at all, except I can wear them in the house and I'm not too embarrassed by them. I don't feel like I'm sitting around with no pants on. And I need like 4 more pair because they're so comfy. So very comfy. All right, on to the real resolutions. Resolution number 1, as you guys can probably tell from the bump I just showed you, my big goal for this year is just to survive the transition to motherhood. From what I can tell, it's gonna be very hard. It's gonna take a lot out of me. And even if it's not really hard and doesn't take a lot out of me, it's inherently changing the dynamic in my home, right? It's no longer just gonna be me and my husband and the dogs. There's gonna be this whole other person who's living with us, who we're gonna have to learn to accommodate their needs and their wants, and they can't talk. So I wish I could say my goal was to like thrive and blossom, but it's not. I just want to survive going from where I am now into the first 6 months of motherhood. Just survive. Goal number 2 is to incorporate prenatal yoga into my pregnancy. I love yoga, and when I became pregnant, I basically stopped all form of exercise and yoga and stuff like that. I actually find that working out while pregnant makes people very uncomfortable. Like other people, not me. I'm uncomfortable when working out all the time. But like it makes other people uncomfortable. So I found this fabulous studio near my house. It's local, which I love because I feel like I'm supporting local. And they are very open and welcoming to pregnant women and in modifying their classes and stuff like that. And they don't make you pay the ridiculous upcharge for doing anything prenatal. So I want to find a way to incorporate more of that into my pregnancy to just hopefully make my body more flexible for delivery, but also just find some like quiet and peace, and also stretch out a little bit because pregnancy is just really uncomfortable. Like it just makes you uncomfortable in general. So that is goal number 2. Number 3, find more ways of getting activity. So I recently transitioned jobs. I went from a decently busy ER floor nurse to an RN data abstractor, which means I went from being on my feet 12, 16-hour shifts to sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day. And it made me realize that I had to rely on work a lot to get all my physical activity in. Like I knew I was getting enough steps in. I knew I was active and moving, and now I'm not. So now I'm gonna actually have to be, you know, one of you normal people and intentional about getting activity and moving my body and stuff like that. Number 4 is rekindle my love of cooking. Because I've been on the night shift for so long, had basically stopped cooking, and it was a hobby I used to love doing. So I want to find more ways bringing that back and finding my passion for it again. Number 5 is to read 52 books. That's actually less for me than I normally do. I can normally read more than a book a week, but I figure with the baby coming, a book a week is probably pretty good and all I can probably manage this year. Number 6 is to pay off 30K in debt. And that is probably up there with getting my subscriber count up to 1,000 on YouTube. It's going to be really hard. Maybe impossible. I could maybe achieve it in a normal year, but this year with going on maternity leave and the cost of the baby, it may not be possible. But I like to set a couple of goals that are lofty and hard. I don't feel like a failure if I don't hit those goals. I feel like you aim high, and if I only get $20,000 in debt payoff, that's still $20,000 less than I have, in debt now. So any ground is good ground, but I'd like to work really hard and push really hard to see how much debt I can knock out this year. All right. Number 8 is to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight by the end of the year. My baby is due end of May, which means I'm predicting the baby will come in June, because you can totally predict those things. And I'd like to be in 6 months time close-ish to my pre-pregnancy weight. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I don't want to not extend grace to myself during that period, because I have no idea what this transition is going to be like. But that is my goal, to be back to close to pre-pregnancy weight at that 6-month mark. Number 9 is learn to breastfeed. Again, want to show myself grace in that one in case it doesn't happen to me. But from what I understand, breastfeeding is a skill, and good luck. Like, sometimes your body is just not going to let you breastfeed. Sometimes your baby circumstances make it so that the baby is not going to be able to breastfeed. But I'm going to go into it like it is something that I really want to work hard at. I really want to learn to do. And I'd like to breastfeed my baby if at all possible. So, number 10. This came up a lot and made me reflect on this a lot when I was interviewing for other jobs, because they always ask you that terrible question like, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I told every single person I interviewed with, which wasn't that many, but a couple of times I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea where I see myself in 5 years. I mean, a mom. I'm going to be a mom, but where I'm going with my career, what I'd like to do with my financial life, what I'd like to, like, where I'd like to be in my marriage, or my hobbies, or like my education. I don't really have any answers. Be debt free. That's all I've got. And I'd like to really spend some time this year reflecting and honing down on what I would like to accomplish in the next 5 years. Because it's only gonna get harder, right? There's gonna be some other person in my life who I'm gonna be modeling behaviors for and teaching what to do. And I'm okay if I come away from my planning and I'm like, I wanna be a floor nurse, I'd like to be a good mom. I'm fine if they're not these huge, lofty, great aspiration goals, but I just really want to take the time to reflect on them and decide what I want to do and make sure it's something thoughtful and well planned out, and and feel like I'm heading in a direction some way or the other. All right. Number 11. I want to join a CSA this year, and I actually want to prepay it. My husband and I, there's this wonderfully, fantastic refugee-run farm in our neighborhood, and they do a CSA every year. And we did it a couple years when it first opened, and then we just every year we're like, oh, let's do that, and then we forget, and we don't save the money for it, and then we don't do it. And I'm just like, no, this year we're gonna plan ahead, we're going to save the money, we're going to join the CSA because we love it, and we feel like it's investing back into our neighborhood, because that was an abandoned lot. There was this giant abandoned lot at the end of our street that is now this wonderfully productive farm. So yeah, it's an all-around win if people like me would just think ahead a little bit and invest in it. So I want to make sure we're doing that this year. And number 12 is I want to move to the curly girl method with my hair. I do have naturally curly hair, and I've not been good with it. I don't take care of my hair. I don't treat it the way it's supposed to. Now, I won't be doing true curly girl method because I'm not gonna stop dyeing my hair. Like, it looks a little ratchet right now. I acknowledge that. I've been really on the fence about how I feel about dyeing my hair while pregnant. I think I finally decided, now that I'm in the second trimester, it's fine, just go get your hair done, you know. But during the first trimester in particular, I was really like not in a place to go get my hair done. And then it was the holidays and stuff like that, and my long list of excuses. So, in summary, I want to learn to do the curly girl method with the addendum that I am going to keep dyeing my hair. All right, so those are my 12 resolutions for the year. I would love to hear what your guys' resolutions are. Leave them down in the comments below. Go into the world, be fabulous, be you. Bye.